Charging by conduction requires you to have two metals that do make contact with each other. Now, in order for something to be charged by conduction, one of those objects has to have a charge already on it. It cannot be neutral, otherwise it's not going to work very well. So for example, let's just say we had two spheres. So let's say this sphere here has, let's say, 3 protons and 8 electrons on there. And let's say we have another sphere here that is neutrally charged. So let's just say it has 3 protons and 3 electrons. Well, what happens is when you actually take the one sphere and the other sphere and you bring them together and make contact with each other, because they are conductors, they are willing to move charge very, very, very readily. And so the electrons and the protons basically balance each other out. Now the protons don't really move, so we're still going to have 3 in each. But the electrons are going to spread out evenly. So if we had 8 over here and we had 3 over here, what happens is some of the electrons from the sphere on the left are going to want to move to the sphere on the right. And that's because this has a net negative charge, which means a lot of these electrons are going to repel each other. They're trying to get as far away from the other negatives as they can. So those negatives are going to move over to the other sphere. Now they can't all move over to the other sphere, otherwise you're going to have too many negatives here and they're going to want to move back. So they balance each other out. They spread evenly. So between the 8 and the 3, the 11 that we have, we might have 5 over here, we might have 6 over here. But the key thing is here, we have more electrons in this sphere. So that is a negative charge. We have more electrons in this sphere than protons. This also has a negative charge. So when this was negative and this was neutral, they're both conductors. When you make contact with each other, both of them are going to end up with the exact same charge that the first one had. This one will have a weaker negative charge than it had to begin with. This one will have a negative charge, but they will both have a negative charge.